The rain hammered against the wide glass windows of the Kingston estate, a mansion so large that even silence seemed to echo inside it. Ethan Kingston, a young millionaire CEO known for his cold discipline and strict perfectionism, walked through the marble hallway with his usual unreadable expression. His employees feared him, his board respected him, and the world admired his brilliance, but inside his home he lived with a loneliness he never admitted. Ever since his wife passed away 2 years ago, leaving him with their infant son Noah, he had built walls so tall that even those who tried to help him couldn't reach his humanity. The only person hired to care for baby Noah was Lily Hart, a 22-year-old nanny who had come from a small town with nothing but a backpack, a kind heart, and desperate determination after losing her mother and being thrown out by relatives who didn't want to raise another burden. Lily wasn't perfect, she was soft-spoken, inexperienced, and always tired because she worked double shifts just to afford her rented room, but Noah loved her in a way no one else could understand. She treated him not as a job, but like a child she had been given by fate. Every morning she arrived early, humming soft lullabies, and every night she stayed late, warming bottles, whispering comfort, and praying that baby Noah would grow up with love even if she herself had never received much of it. Ethan, however, barely looked at her. To him, she was just another employee, one who must follow rules without excuses. Professionalism, he always said, is everything. But life has a strange way of revealing the truth hidden behind appearances. One stormy afternoon, after a long board meeting, Ethan returned home earlier than expected. His footsteps were tired, his tie loose, his expression heavier than usual. He hadn't slept well in months, work had consumed him, stress had hardened him, and he hardly spent time with his son except for quick morning glances and photos Lily sent him during the day. He pushed open the nursery door, quietly, as he always did, expecting to see Lily standing by the crib or rocking Noah in her arms. But instead, he froze in place. Lily was sitting beside the crib, her head resting on her folded arms right next to baby Noah, her breathing soft and rhythmic. She had fallen asleep accidentally, clearly too exhausted to stay awake. Noah was standing inside the crib, tiny fingers touching her arm, looking at her with innocent curiosity, as if wondering why his nanny, his safe place, had suddenly become still. Ethan's first reaction was shock, his jaw tightened, his heart pounded, his mind screaming that this was unprofessional, irresponsible, unacceptable. A millionaire father like him was used to everything being perfect, controlled, flawless. And here was his nanny, sleeping on the job. His first instinct was to shout, to fire her on the spot, to tell her how dangerous it was to fall asleep while watching a child. But something stopped him. Something he hadn't felt in years. He stepped closer. Slowly. For the first time, he noticed the dark circles under her eyes, the trembling in her fingers, the way her shoulders slumped from months of exhaustion. He noticed how Noah wasn't afraid, in fact, he was calm, safe, happy, because Lily was there. Even in sleep, she was like a protective shield around him. Ethan swallowed hard. His anger melted a little, replaced by a strange ache in his chest. When was the last time he had been this close to Noah? When was the last time Noah had looked at him with trust instead of confusion? A guilty thought crossed his mind. This young woman, who earned less in a month than he spent on one dinner meeting, was giving his child something he couldn't give: love, warmth, presence. Lily stirred suddenly, her eyes fluttering open, realizing she had fallen asleep. She panicked instantly and sat up straight, brushing her hair back, whispering, "I'm so sorry, sir, I didn't mean to, I was feeding him," and her voice cracked, and her eyes filled with tears she tried desperately to hide. Ethan held up a hand, not in anger, but in a way that surprised even himself. "Lily, when was the last time you slept properly?" She froze, confused. No employer had ever asked her that. She whispered, 2, maybe 3 hours last night, sir. I had a late shift at the cafe after I left here. Rent went up again. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to fall asleep. Please don't fire me. Noah needs someone," and her voice broke completely. She bowed her head, ashamed. Ethan felt something twist deep inside his chest. He looked at Noah, who stretched his tiny arms toward Lily, not him. The moment hit him harder than any business failure ever had. He knelt down beside the crib, a millionaire CEO kneeling on a nursery floor, and gently lifted Noah into his arms. The baby looked at him with surprise, then curiosity, then slowly touched Ethan's face, as if seeing his father properly for the first time. Ethan's eyes softened. He whispered, "You're doing more for my son than I ever have." Lily blinked, stunned. Noah giggled softly, tapping Ethan's tie. The room felt warmer somehow, lighter, filled with something Ethan hadn't felt since his wife died, love, fragile but real. He looked at Lily again, but this time not as a boss looking at an employee. He saw her as a human being, a young woman trying her best, sacrificing sleep, health, and comfort to care for his child. A kindness he had never paid attention to. He took a deep breath. "Lily, you're not fired." Her eyes widened. "But sir, you're staying," he said gently. "But things are going to change around here. For you. For Noah. And for me." She stared at him speechless. For the first time, Ethan Kingston smiled, not the polite business smile he used for meetings, but a real, tired, genuine smile. And that moment became the beginning of a change no one in the mansion expected, a change that would soon shock everyone who thought they knew the cold-hearted millionaire. This moment, this accidental nap beside the baby, would become the turning point of a story that would transform 3 lives forever. And if you want to know what happened next, make sure you subscribe, because Chapter 2 will reveal the twist that changed everything.